I absolutely love the conversation right now that is swirling around 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy because people are so interested in trying to tag him and identify exactly what he is after not even starting a full season yet with the San Francisco 49ers. Now we understand he's done some special things. He's the only quarterback in the Super Bowl era to win 5 games in a row to start his rookie season and his sophomore season. No other quarterback in the NFL has ever done that. And we know he's playing at an extremely high level. But people are so quick to want to tag him with and define what he is. And as a result, you're going to get people like Shannon Sharpe, who, again, it's way too early to identify Brock Purdy as elite or whatever. But while they're doing and kind of expressing themselves, it almost becomes a sneak diss with how they're going about talking about it. Listen to what Shannon Sharpe has to say right here, and you be the judge.
But is he really an elite quarterback, or is it just the situation he's in?
No, he's not an elite quarterback. He's a product of the system. It's more credit to Kyle Shanahan and what he's done. He's not, and RC, you'll appreciate this. In the biblical term, the devil told God that Job, the reason why he serves you is because you give everything to him. He said if you remove that hedge from around him, he will curse his very maker.
He'll curse you.
He said you can take everything but his life. Took his kid, took his sheep, took all that. Job was still faithful.
Never cursed him.
I'm not so sure that if we remove Debo, we remove Kyle Shanahan, we removed Ayuk, we would still see this Brock Purdy. He's a product of the system. Now, that's not to take away from what he's doing. It's okay for him to be in the MVP discussion and not be Patrick Mahomes or not be Tua or not be an elite quarterback. He still has to go out there and operate. He just doesn't have to do as much as, say, those other guys. If I were to put him in Patrick Mahomes, if I switch places and says, okay, you got to go do what Patrick Mahomes does, or you got to go do what one of these other quarterbacks, I'm not so sure Brock Purdy could do that. But in this system, the ability to run the football with Christian McCaffrey and all the weapons, because all he has to do is just not turn it over. Get it in the Ayuk's hand, get it in Debo's hands, get it in Kittle's hands, and let them do the work. But no, he's not elite. No stretch of the imagination is he elite.
I like Shannon Sharpe. I respect his opinion. He's a phenomenal player. He's done so many good things in the league. I really do like Shannon Sharpe. I got no bad things to say about Uncle Shannon. But it is interesting though, like again, because I would also have to say it's too early to dub Brock Purdy elite. Like it just is. Is he playing at an elite level? Absolutely. But we don't know what Brock Purdy is yet. Still, it's a case by case situation. I talk about this with the NFL all the time. It's an evolution process. Like we got to start stringing games together. We got to string seasons together before we call anyone elite. So I understand, in a sense what Shannon is saying. But the way it comes across, it almost comes across like a sneak diss. I don't know. I could be reading and interpreting what he's saying wrong or how he's saying it. Again, it reminds me really similar to the Dan Orlovsky comment of because Shannon's calling him a system quarterback. It basically saying if you take away all these weapons, Brock turns into a pumpkin. Very similar to what Dan Orlovsky said about, well, if you put Mac Jones in this system, he's playing the same way. I understand not wanting to crown Brock Purdy as an elite quarterback. That makes sense to me. I'm not going to do it yet. Is he playing elite ball? 100%. But we still got to see a bigger body of work before we start throwing around the E word. However, while saying that, he cuts his legs out from under him and says he's a system quarterback and he doesn't believe he would have the same success anywhere else. That to me is where it becomes a sneak diss, where you're acknowledging how well he's playing, but you're acknowledging he's playing that well because of the environment. And let's keep it a buck, shall we? Everyone, whether it's football, whether it's life, whether it's anything, work, 9 to 5s, you are going to perform better if your environment is better. That's how life works. So to use that to be able to take a shot at Brock, I don't buy it. I don't think it's a good argument because that would affect any quarterback in the NFL. It doesn't matter how talented you are, doesn't matter how tall you are. anything. If you're not in a good environment, you're going to suffer as a result. Just ask Alex Smith and what Alex had to go through the first 7 years of his career, and what the environment, and when the environment changed, when you bring in Harbaugh and you bring in some stability, what happens? He started to take off because the environment improved around him. So listen, anyone is going to struggle in a poor environment. Like, that's why I don't understand why people are so fixated on, oh, well, he's a system quarterback because his environment is so well around him. Like, look at Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes got to learn behind Alex Smith for a year. He's in a system with Andy Reid. He's got Travis Kelce. He's got Tyreek Hill. He's got good team around him. I don't know, man. It's just it's funny how Brock Purdy will continue to be judged based on his stature, based on the way he looks, based on where he's drafted. And I think it's fine at this point. I think this is actually beneficial media conversation for the 49ers. I think it's beneficial for Brock because Brock is going to continue to have a chip on his shoulder. He's an ultimate competitor. And guess what? This team rallies behind Brock. So everyone is going to want to prove whoever's saying these things wrong. And I think this is a good case scenario. I want more people to keep saying this stuff. I want it to keep coming because we know, we watch the film, we watch the tape, we know how well Brock is playing. And even though I think he's playing at an elite level, I'm not going to say he's elite, but I'm also not going to say he's just a system quarterback, because that to me is a disservice to what Brock is doing. Brock has elevated the system. Brock has taken the system to new heights that we have never seen before with the San Francisco 49ers. So when you say he's a system quarterback, that is absolutely, the way I'm interpreting it, disrespect for Brock Purdy. But you let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.